My name is Lauren and Davina, and this is a story time about judging competitive art, film festivals, and showcases in March of 2024. At this point, I'm just going to timestamp everything because we're kind of at the state of Moore's Law where everything is just super exponentiality up, and it's just good to make sure we know where we are in time. And before I get too crazy, I'm 8 months pregnant, so I might be a little breathless. So this past year, I've acted as a judge and performed as a jury president for artificial intelligence. And things are nuts. Without naming names, you've probably seen all of the releases of AI-powered whatever, and you've seen the work take massive hits. I can't remember a time so divisive about content in my entire career, or maybe my entire life. And I thought, what a great opportunity to find a little ground by exploring some criteria we might use to judge artificial intelligent design, filmmaking, and art. What has really changed for judging AI art versus traditional art? To begin, if you share my perspective, we are in either year 0 or 1 of this daring new age of mainstream AI acceleration. And if you're professionally judging this space, you spend your weekends pontificating subjects such as, how do we begin to assess this emerging domain of AI when the roadmap is uncharted and no precedents guide our way? What strategies can we employ to foster an environment where the freedom to innovate and the passion of discovery are not just encouraged, but are the bedrock of this era of burgeoning AI creativity? How do we define and apply criteria that not only addresses the current landscape of AI-generated work, but also paves the way for future explorations, setting the stage for excellence and ethical considerations in AI art and film? Let's get into it, shall we? First, how I got here, judging AI on my Saturday. To start, I've been a director and artist for advertisements, music videos, short films, game trailers, anything that kind of moves and goes on air for the past 20 years. Before I got into this line of film work, I had a background in fine arts, and there were consistent patterns in my work. For one, everything I made was figurative. I was drawn to characters, and naturally, when you have characters, they have stories. One day in college, a professor suggested I pursue film to explore these characters and stories. And I love this because I'm a bit greedy when it comes to making art, meaning I want to do like everything all at once. And since film is such a broad major, I could explore all artistic mediums and all at once. Most importantly, film is basically art made sequential. It can be a linear narrative, it could be a non-linear narrative, which is pretty much what fashion videos and music videos and a lot of advertising is. It's also a domain of technological innovation, tracing its roots back to Muybridge's Horse in Motion to Disney's Snow White. And this love for art and creative technologies is where I met my partner, a writer, and an ex-SpaceX engineer. And around the time we met, NVIDIA's GPUs were redefining the possibilities of local machine learning. Since he's an engineer, he started to build these beastly machines for us to explore the LLMs locally with. Together, we embarked on ventures that married our passions with AI. His focus on addressing learning and employment in the AI era, and mine on crafting an experimental studio where art, film, and technologies converge. Through this exploration, we've distilled core AI principles that guide our endeavors, and now my judging an AI competition. It's a journey that's brought us to a unique convergence of engineering and art, laying the groundwork for what promises to be an exciting chapter in the story of expression. So, my first and foremost core AI principle, we are privileged to be a part of what is possibly the most consequential timeline in human history. Regrettably, much of contemporary AI is a moral and visual cesspool of garbage. Worse yet, if used irresponsibly, generative AI offers a shortcut to those who claim authorship over works that do not belong to them, instead of putting in the work to achieve mastery. But for this video, I'm speaking broadly in the context of humanity. Humanity is a string of people existing sequentially, learning together, producing together, and contributing value to the universe. I personally studied all of the great artists before me to form my artistic voice. In a lot of ways, these guys are kind of in my head already, prompting me to do things, much like the people that came before them sort of influenced and prompted them to do things as well. My second core AI principle, we are only on this earth for a teeny tiny bit of the timeline. And within this brief span of time, we should strive for as much progress as possible. To use AI to enrich our comprehension of the universe, to explore the uncharted, to streamline our processes, and to elevate our creative voice. And my last AI core principle, no one actually understands this technology fully, so just have fun. Now more than ever, the journey is the destination. AI is like a biological organism marked by complexity and unpredictability. The growth of AI mimics the natural world where adaptation and evolution are constants. Just as we cannot predict the path of a living organism fully, comprehending every nuance of AI's trajectory remains beyond our grasp. This reality invites us to approach AI with a spirit of exploration and enjoyment. So as we navigate this ever-evolving biological being landscape, it's crucial to remember that the beauty in working with AI lies in the journey itself. That this journey is filled with discovery and innovation. Now more than ever, it's about relishing the process and the unexpected destinations it brings us to. Which brings us back to judging and what I'm looking for when I judge AI concepts, art, and film. For the most part, my criteria is the same as if I were judging non-AI work. I sort of lean into whether the concept is strong, the craft is good, and whether or not it's innovative. When we're dealing with AI, however, there's a blanket parameter that affects all criteria, and that is the AI-ness of it. And what I mean by this is the concept, craft, and innovation elevated by AI? Did they understand the assignment? Did they really need to use AI for this, or did they do it just to qualify for the category? After all, AI is just another tool. I'm not going to judge you on your Photoshop technique or the paints you use. I'm going to judge you on the final product. Overall, in my opinion, the use of AI should be invisible to the viewer. Like, if I were judging a Jurassic Park sequel, I wouldn't want more technology. I'd want less. I'd want to be transported elsewhere. I'd want the technology to disappear, so it's just me and the dinosaurs. So the first thing I ask when thinking about the AI-ness of a project is the concept. Does the use of AI overshadow the idea? Who is in control? AI or the creator? While impressive tech is captivating, the underlying idea must hold its own in order to create timeless work. My personal opinion is that the current tools are so hypnotic that so many people are seduced into using the tools as they are. Unfortunately, most of these projects you're not making anything deeply meaningful or connective. In nerd speak, it's like, that latent consistency model looks great, but if it still looks like a filtered TikTok. The second thing I'm going to ask when it comes to the AI-ness of things is about craft. Does the use of AI overshadow craft? Who is in control, the AI or the creator? There's a pattern here. Fundamentally, even though AI is groundbreaking, I really don't believe the core creative process has changed too much. In our past lives, I as an artist receive inputs from the world, and I use those inputs as inspiration to drive my output. Previously, this is done in traditional mediums or digital tools. Similar with AI, there's just a little bit more of a modded out approach. With AI, I receive input from the world, the AI receives input from me. After that dialogue, what happens next? Does the machine represent my vision, or am I being driven by the output of the machine? The latter isn't bad. Midjourney created chaos mode for a reason, to explore. But more often, we start to see AI styles emerge. For example, is the technology layered on top of itself, or are you using a Photoshop filter from 2006 and calling it a day? Back then, the watercolor filter looked like the bomb. Same thing as today. As impressive as it is, most professionals can spot a Midjourney version, Runway ML, Warp Diffusion, or any sort of specific LoRa that represents a style. To get great output from AI, you have to be willing to make a mess. Or as Michelangelo put it, you have to find the figure in the stone. The thing is, carving marble is hard and messy. So we have to apply that same creative approach to AI, or we're just gonna end up with filters. The last AI-ness question I'm going to ask is about innovation. Has the creator used AI in a way that is innovative? I guess for this one, my criteria could be summed up as, is it a store-bought sheet cake? Or is it a store-bought sheet cake that someone has stripped the icing of and turned into a masterpiece? Has the alchemy of their AI combinations enabled them to discover something new? Again, circling back to my main mode of criteria, is the AI invisible? Do I think of stone when I look at Michelangelo's marbled work? Does the store-bought sheet cake seem innovative? These are all the same pieces of criteria that I would use to judge traditional works. I hope that by breaking down my own personal assessment of criteria, by sharing my core AI principles, by showing you where I came from, all of this makes the standards for excellence and ethical considerations in AI art and film both exciting and authentic. If I were to summarize all of this, my hope would be that AI communities and competitions become lively places for sharing work and debate, for getting your work in front of like-minded compadres, for opening doors that you don't even know about. When I'm in a mode of despair, my partner always tells me the best things in life you don't see coming. Maybe now, more than ever, that couldn't be a more awesome outcome.